All right, Jimmy, a renewed glimmer of hope in the case of a missing woman last seen 50 years ago. Janice Sanders disappeared from Niles in 1975, never to be seen again. And now investigators are digging into her disappearance and any possible connection to a South Bend woman last seen 2 years earlier in 1973. New for you at 6 o'clock. WSBT 22's Erica Finke sat down for an exclusive interview with family members searching for justice and those behind the scenes making it happen.
For those who grew up with both parents in a nuclear family, it's hard to imagine life without one of them. But what if you lost a parent and decades later still don't know where they are or what happened to them? James and Dina Sanders were just 2 and 5 years old when their mom, Janice Sanders, was last seen in Niles, July 1975. She was just 24 years old.
As a kid, you're just kind of confused at how this could happen and how no one saw anything or heard anything or found her. And so as a kid, you sort of, I know I just would repress it.
You know, you're going through puberty and you're growing up and then just trying to process everything, and you just make yourself forget.
According to police reports, Janice was last seen at Pete's Patio clocking out of her waitressing shift at midnight on July 21st. Witnesses say her ex-boyfriend, Gerald Liebertowski, had been at the restaurant for hours. According to police, witnesses described him as acting possessive and jealous. Reports say Janice was last seen with Gerald talking in the restaurant's back parking lot. Gerald was questioned by police the next day with facial injuries that witnesses say they did not see the night before. Police discovered Gerald was connected to another missing woman, this one out of South Bend, Janice Langs, in 1973. He was charged with first-degree murder in Janice's disappearance in 1976, and soon after charged with open murder of Janice. When Janice's case went to trial later that year, Gerald was found not guilty. After that decision, charges connected to Janice's disappearance were dropped. The cases through the decades have stayed cold, and Gerald died in 2010 at 67 years old.
How many times do you think that your mom's case has gotten picked up and dropped?
I would say 1, 2, at least half a dozen times.
Yeah. And every time it was dropped felt like a new loss to James. But during the pandemic, he decided enough was enough. He researched his mom's case, and Michigan State Police reopened it in September 2022. Janice's case is now recognized as an abduction homicide.
The new classification, which, you know, for the average person may just not be important information, but for us it's a game changer because it's a signal to us as the family that this time it's real.
It's also a group effort to bring these women home and give them a proper burial. Michigan State Police, South Bend Police, Notre Dame's Biochemistry and Engineering departments, and Western Michigan University's environmental and cold case programs all helping out. The highly competitive cold case program started in 2021 and has investigated 9 cases. The small groups of students tasked with organizing and digitizing old documents and meeting with detectives to bring a new perspective on these unsolved crimes.
Some of these cases are like 40, 50 years old and haven't really been looked at and given the attention, and you give them to a bunch of college kids who are super excited to get their hands on them. I feel like it really does help move along the process.
For Janice and Janice's case alone, the students worked their way through boxes filled with more than 5,000 documents. The program director says this was a major challenge.
It boggles your mind how much information is out there, but then when you can do a search on somebody's variation of somebody's name, and you can find out who was mentioned in every single page of that document within seconds, it just changes the whole ballgame, really.
Those in the class more motivated than ever to bring these families some sort of justice.
Knowing that there are real people still being affected by this, you know, meeting Janice's family, they're still so driven to find answers, and that's what we're doing this for.
And James and Dina, more hopeful than ever.
and there's no reason why we can't find her. There's got to be no reason why we can't. Just because there's so much technology nowadays, and I just know those students out there, they're going to find her. I know they are.
With cold cases, time moves on and some people forget, but that pain remains for those who lost their loved one. But one Michigan State trooper could not shake Janice's case, and he's actually back helping the team investigate. I sat down with him for an interview in his Jackson, Michigan home, and his story only available tomorrow night at 6. For WSBT 22 News, I'm Erica Finke.